strictly speaking. My name is Richard Doubledick, but in my childhood, I was called Bills, and even now, among my friends, I am still known by that name. My last name, you see, was just too tempting for a schoolboy's wit. Bills I was, and Bills I am. So, on a certain Christmas Eve, I found myself in the ancient city of Rochester, a place steeped in history and shadow. The snow fell softly, blanketing the old stone cathedral and the crooked roofs of the houses. I was a traveler, with no particular destination. Just a desire to soak in the spirit of Christmas, in a place that felt like it belonged to a forgotten time. I wandered the streets, my boots crunching on the fresh snow, until I came upon a curious old house. A plaque on the wall caught my eye. It said that 6 poor travelers, not being rogues or proctors, could receive a night's lodging, entertainment, and 4 pence each. This was Richard Watts's charity, a haven established centuries ago for those in need. I was immediately charmed. A poor traveler myself, in a sense, I felt a pull towards this place. I knocked on the heavy oak door. An old woman with a kind face answered, and upon learning I was not a rogue or a proctor, she welcomed me in. Inside, a great fire crackled in the hearth, casting a warm, dancing light across the room. The place was simple but clean, filled with an air of peace. The matron explained that 6 travelers were expected that night, and they would be given supper and a place to sleep. A thought sparked in my mind, a little Christmas whim. I asked if I might be allowed to provide a special supper for the 6 travelers and join them as a 7th. I wanted to be their host for the evening, to share a bit of Christmas cheer. The matron, a little surprised but pleased, agreed. So, I went out into the bustling market, filled with the sights and smells of Christmas. I bought a fine cut of roast beef, a plump goose, mincemeat for pies, and a cask of ale. I returned, my arms laden with festive provisions. As evening fell, the 6 poor travelers arrived, one by one. They were a motley crew, weathered by life on the road. There was an old soldier with a story in every wrinkle of his face, a quiet man who had seen better days, a young man with hopeful eyes, and others, each carrying their own silent burdens. They were surprised and a little shy at the sight of the grand supper I had prepared. But the warmth of the fire and the smell of the roasting meat soon melted their reserve. We gathered around the long wooden table, the 7th poor traveler among the 6. The ale flowed, and the room filled with laughter and conversation. I carved the roast beef, and we all ate until we could eat no more. For that one night, we were not strangers, not just poor travelers, but a small, temporary family, brought together by the magic of Christmas Eve. After supper, we sat by the fire, and I suggested we each tell a story. The old soldier went first, recounting a tale of bravery and loss from his days in the wars. Another told a story of a long-lost love, his voice soft with memory. Each story was a glimpse into a life, a sharing of a soul. When it was my turn, I didn't tell a grand tale of adventure. Instead, I told them a simple story about kindness, about how a small act of generosity can light up the darkest of nights. As the hour grew late, a comfortable silence settled over us. The fire crackled, the snow fell outside, and the warmth of our shared evening filled the old house, too. I looked at the faces of my fellow travelers, their features softened by the firelight, and I felt a profound sense of connection. We were all on a journey, each of us, and for this one night, our paths had crossed in this small, charitable house. It was a Christmas Eve I would never forget. A reminder that the greatest gift is not what you receive, but what you have the privilege to give. The spirit of Christmas, I realized, wasn't in grand gestures, but in the simple, human act of sharing a little warmth with a fellow traveler on the road of life.